Hi everybody, Jen and I have had lots of questions about how to qualify for the LIPS trip in Australia next January 2019. So we're going to do this quick video. I'm going to do this quick video to show you how to be eligible for the trip and how to qualify for the trip. Those are two separate things we'll talk about briefly. I'm going to try to do this video short, less than 8 minutes is my goal. Let's talk about eligibility. In order to be eligible to go on the trip, there are essentially four things. The first is that you need to be an active distributor at the end of the contest period. Now the contest period goes from October 1st, 2017 through September 30th, 2018. You have to be an active distributor in good standing at the end of the contest period. So if you're ramped up and qualified right now and then for whatever reason get out of the business before the end of the contest period, you wouldn't be able to go on the trip. So make sure you're still an active distributor at the end of the contest period. The other one is you need to be at least 18 years of age to go on the trip. You also need to be a managance field leader or an on-track field leader. And then the other big one, and this is one that people often overlook, is there are 4 corporate events every year. You need to register and attend at least 2 of them. And so there's 4 corporate events. There's a January pit stop, there's a seminar in April, there's a July pit stop, and then there's Leaders Conference in October. At the time that I'm recording this video, the January pit stop has already taken place. And so if you didn't attend that, now you have 3 chances to register for and attend those 2 corporate events. Seminar in April, pit stop in July, and Leaders Conference in October. Now I know that the Leaders Conference in October is after the contest period. It still counts as one of those to attend. So don't worry about the fact that it's after September. Leaders Conference is still one that you could attend. There is a rank that you need to be at to attend Leaders Conference. I believe that you have to be at least a lady, but I'll confirm that and then we'll put that in the comments below. So if you're not a lady and you don't expect that you will be, then plan to go to seminar in April and pit stop in July. These events are so awesome. I've never been to the big ones. I've been to smaller corporate events. But when Jen comes back from these trips, she is so excited about her business because of all of the things that she learned, the new tips and tricks. She's collaborated and been able to learn from other distributors and from the people at corporate who teach distributors how to run their business well. And so she comes back from these and just heads down for 2 or 3 weeks. She's so motivated and excited. And so it's an investment in your business. And for Jen and I, we've noticed a for sure return on that investment in terms of excitement. And then that turns into sales and distributors and new customers and that sort of thing. So LIPS trip aside, you should be attending those events. But in order to be eligible for the trip, you do have to register for and attend 2 of the 4 corporate events. So those are the eligibility. Let's talk about the qualification. The qualification for LIPS is earned with something called distributor value. And distributor value is earned when you recruit new distributors and they place orders. For every PV that they order, you will earn a DV. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio of their PV to your PV, and you can earn up to 1,500 DV per distributor per quarter. So let me give you an example. The months of April, May, and June, for example, is Q2 of 2018. It's a 3-month period, and within that 3-month period, you can earn up to 1,500 DV for every person on your first line who is placing orders. And so if you have somebody who places a 300 PV order in April, a 500 PV order in May, and a 300 PV order in June, you're going to have a total of 1,100 DV that you've earned from that particular distributor because they've placed orders of 1,100 PV. Now, if you have another distributor, just another example, that places 1,000 PV order in April or total of 1,000 PV orders, they place 1,000 in May and 1,000 in June. Maybe they're going for their fast start or something like that. They've placed 3,000 PV total, you'll only get 1,500 DV. So it's 1,500 DV up to 1,500 DV per distributor per quarter. Now, if you have questions about that, people often do. Don't hesitate to comment on below on this video, and Jen or I will respond as quickly as we can to make sure that your questions are answered. Once you understand the per distributor, per quarter, it actually is really simple to figure everything out. So we can answer any questions about that. So let me tell you how much DV you need in order to go on the trip. For you to go on the trip, all expenses paid, you need to have 50,000 DV on your first line. LIPS stands for League of Independent Personal Sponsors. It's all about recruiting. That's the purpose of this contest, is to incent you to try and get out there and recruit people. And so for you to go, you need 50,000 DV on your first line in order to qualify to go on the trip with all of your expenses paid. Now, just a minute ago, we were talking about how you can earn up to 1,500 DV per distributor per quarter. Those 1,500 DVs add up very quickly to that 50,000. So this number is not difficult to attain, and there's still 8 months left in the contest period at the time that I'm recording this video. So everybody watching this video still has a very real opportunity to go to Sydney, Australia in January 2019, all expenses paid, and that includes your airfare, your hotel, pretty much everything is covered, and you definitely want to be on these trips. Costa Rica this month was amazing, and it's something that I do not want to miss, and so Jen and I are busting our butts to make sure that we're not missing Australia next year, because they're such amazing trips. Now, for you and a guest to attend at a discounted rate, you have to earn a minimum of 60,000 DV on your first line for you and a guest to go at a discounted rate. Now, you are obviously all paid for. Your guest pays at a discounted rate. But ideally, what you're going to shoot for is for you and a guest, all expenses paid, you need to have a total of 100,000 DV between your first and second lines, with a minimum of 50,000 DV on your first line. So you still have to get to that 50,000 DV on your first line, but then in order for your guest to go, you have to have an accumulative total between your first and second lines of 100,000. So that could be 50,000 on your first line, 50,000 on your second line. It could be 100,000 on your first line. It could be 50,000 on your first line and 5 million on your second line. You just have to make sure you're hitting that minimum 50,000 on your first line and an accumulative total of 100,000 between your first and second lines. To earn DV on your second line is identical to the way that you earn on your first line, except you're not doing the recruiting. That would be your first line recruiting your second line. So for all of the PV that they place, you'll earn up to 1,500 DV per distributor per quarter on your second line to reach that 100,000 accumulative total. So again, this trip is all about recruiting. League of Independent Personal Sponsors. This is about getting out there, wearing your stripes, talking to people in the grocery store, leaving your business cards everywhere, throwing launch parties, doing demos. It's all about recruiting. And people join the business when they see how amazing the product is. Don't neglect customers. Customers will sometimes turn into distributors. So you want to make sure that you're out there looking for customers, looking for people who are looking for an opportunity like this one, to have an opportunity to work from home, their own hours, with a generous compensation plan. People want this opportunity, and people want you to open your mouth. So wear your stripes, do a launch party if you haven't right now. If you haven't done one in a while, do one again. But get out there, focus on recruiting, because again, there's still 8 months left in this, and we have a very real opportunity, everybody watching this video, a very real opportunity to still reach that 50,000 and still absolutely reach that 100,000 DV mark to make sure that you're joining us in Sydney, Australia, 2019 in January. We are excited to go. If you have questions, comment on this video below. We'll answer all your questions to make sure that you understand this, because we want you to realize how achievable this is. This isn't a pipe dream that will never happen because you just joined the business last week. If you just joined the business last week, you still have an amazing opportunity. If you join the business 6 months from now, you still have an opportunity to do it. Your work will be cut out for you, but you have an opportunity. Everybody watching this video should be joining us in Australia, January 2019. We will see you there.